Welcome to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union Class 4A Baseball and Softball Championship Playoffs. Today's game is produced and distributed by PlayActionSportsMedia.com. Welcome to Henley Hornets Athletics and Henley Hornets Baseball and Softball. Today's game is presented in part by Henrys Roofing and Supply, the Eisler Group, Certified Public Accountants, Jalapenos Taco Shop, Ed Staub & Sons, Modoc Contracting Company, by Axia Home Loans, The Lending Lady, Parker's Rod and Gun, Stagecoach Pizza, by Basin Immediate Care, Fenter's Trucking, Superior Fence, by Dave's Tool Supply, First Class Auto, and by mybasin.com. We hope you enjoyed this broadcast of another OSAA State Championship Playoff and today's game with the Henley Hornets, produced by PlayActionSportsMedia.com and by mybasin.com.
Hello everybody and welcome to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championship live with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com. This afternoon it's the 24-time Skyline Conference champion Henley Hornets taking on the Seaside SEAGULLS from the Kawapa League. Two teams that survived the regular season now take their first step to Kaiser Volcano Stadium in Salem for the state crown. When we continue, we'll bring you the Skyline and Kawapa League standings, a look around the state, and of course first pitch coming up next with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com. Welcome back to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championships, live here with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com. Again, today's matchup between the Henley Hornets and the Seaside SEAGULLS, the first round of this state tournament. Of course, coming up soon, we'll give you a look around the rest of the games going on around today. But these two teams surviving the regular season. With the Henley Hornets, they won the Skyline Conference Championship, finishing 13-2, 21-4 overall this season. Finishing runner-up in the Skyline Conference was number 4 ranked Hidden Valley. They are 11-4 in league this season, 23-4 overall. Mazama and Phoenix both 9-6. Klamath Union finished 3-12, and North Valley winless over 21 games this season, only scoring 38 runs, finishing last in the Skyline Conference. Of course, Seaside from the Kawapa League. Seaside, they finished 5th in that league, as a matter of fact, behind Banks, the number 1 ranked team, Banks, as a matter of fact, going 23-3 overall this season. Astoria finished 2nd in the Kawapa League with a 6-6 mark in league play and 12-10 overall this season. Valley Catholic finished it with 6-6 as well. Then you got Seaside, the SEAGULLS, the challenging team this afternoon. And Tillamook finished 3-18 this season. Henley come and mention that they've won the Skyline Conference 5 out of the past 6 years, only interrupted once by the Hidden Valley Mustangs, which was in 2017. Along with that, we take a look around the state of Oregon with the other playoff matchups going on today. Number 1, Banks takes on Elmira. North Marion takes on Astoria. Skyline Conference foe Hidden Valley takes on Valley Catholic. And Junction City plays Phoenix, another Skyline Conference team. LeGrand plays Sweet Home. Baker versus Philomath. That's the game these Hornets want to keep their eye on, as the winner of that game will come to play Henley next Friday. Newport and Gladstone is the final game. And of course, behind us going on, as a matter of fact, in the softball state tournament, Henley is taking on Cascade, and they will play the winners of Philomath versus Madras, also going on today. Take a bigger look at a couple of these teams. Henley, over the past 5 years, as a matter of fact, one of the best records in the state, 153-25 over the past 5 years in Oregon Seaside. Their 5-year record is 40-99. It's, a matter of fact, their first playoff appearance since 2010. Matchup between a couple first-year head coaches. Adam Randall, of course, the Henley head coach, coached at Bend for a few years. Over 4 years, went 75-30. Farthest he got was the quarterfinals. Lost there a couple years in a row. Dan McFadden, the first-year head coach at Seaside. And mentioned Seaside, their first trip in 10 years. They've won the state championship 3 times, as a matter of fact. Their last win, though, is in 1972, as opposed to Henley, a 9-time champion. Their last championship was in 2016. Of course, when we continue, it's time to play ball. Starting lineups and first pitch with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com coming up next. All right, welcome back to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championship Live. It's the first round here between the Henley Hornets and the Seaside Seagulls, as the Henley Hornets team sets to take the field, courtesy of our PA announcer Jay Reese announcing the teams. In the meantime, we'll give you the starting lineups for the Seaside Seagulls. Leading off, hitting first, number 1, and at second base is Gage McFadden. Duncan Thompson is hitting second at third base. Hitting in the number 3 spot, Peyton Westerholm at shortstop. Cleanup hitter and catching, Alex Tubner. Chase Janik in right field, hitting 5th. And in the 6th spot is the pitcher, Travis Fenton. Dylan Meyer is hitting 7th, and at first base, Braden Johnson hitting 8th and at center field. And in left field, hitting 9th, is Isis Yantis. On the mound, of course, for them is Travis Fenton. Flip around and we'll give you the starting lineups for the Henley Hornets. Number 11, Andrew Reynolds is leading it off in at shortstop. Pitcher Hayden Rasica hitting second. Blake Loney, the catcher, in at the 3rd spot. Cleanup hitting Heath Rasica at first base. John Tacchini in left field hitting 5th. James Heskamp is designated hitting for Trevor Rope. In at the 7th spot is Jagger Graham in right field. Skylar Howard in center. And in the 9th spot, rounding out the bottom of the list is Trevor Rote in at the 9th spot. Again, pitching for them is Hayden Rasica. We will see the Seaside Seagulls first. They are hitting again finishing 5th in the Kawapa League with a record of 5-7. As we get
in honor in America for national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner. Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the monsters stinging air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. So say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the let's play ball.
And that means you heard the famous play ball again, our public address announcer Jay Reese. That means we are getting ready for the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championships, the first round between the Henley Hornets and the Seaside Seagulls. Again, the Seagulls, their first playoff appearance in almost a decade. Again, their last appearance back in 2010. Meanwhile, the Hornets, they're a healthy fix in the playoffs, winning the Skyline Championship 5 out of the past 6 years, only losing it once to Hidden Valley, but still making the playoffs that year, and of course into the state championships, as well as, again, the Henley Hornets. Can give you an idea, a team that's won it 9 out of the 11 times that they've been there, winning it for a few years in a row, 14, 15, 16, etc., and at least being there for most of them in the past decade. Meanwhile, Seaside has been absent from the playoffs. Again, in this top of the first, we'll see Gage McFadden, Duncan Thompson, and Peyton Westerholm for the Seaside Seagulls. Coming all the way from Seaside, close to an 8-hour drive, I believe it was, for this team to come down here and play the definite favorite Henley Hornets. And while he warms up on the mound, we'll give you an idea of Hayden Rasica. See him right there, pitched against Hidden Valley. That was his last start in the doubleheader in which they swept the Mustangs in 2 here at Henley High School and were able to clinch the Skyline Conference Championship away from the Mustangs. They needed 2 to win, and they got both of them done as he's finishing throwing his warm-up pitches. We'll bring up our scoreboard here. Of course, the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championships. You're watching it with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com as the Henley Hornets and the Seaside Seagulls get ready to go as Gage McFadden steps into the box.
Leading off for Seaside, second baseman number 1, George McFadden.
First pitch is swung on and missed by McFadden. 4:02 the first pitch this afternoon here from the Klamath Basin at Rosser Field on the campus of Hidden Valley High School. Pretty windy today, not too warm, not too hot. We did get a little bit of a sprinkle though before first pitch this afternoon, though that looks to be all done, and hopefully we can get this game on as Rasica fires in strike 2. McFadden down in the count. Rasica trying to put away the leadoff hitter here. And he'll do just that. Painting the black on the outside part of the plate as that will be the first out and the first strikeout for Rasica. And that will bring up number 13, Duncan Thompson, the third baseman for the Seaside Seagulls. First pitch to him, a fastball, also on the outside of the plate. That's 4 pitches and 4 straight strikes for Hayden Rasica. Now a breaking ball is going to miss outside for Rasica. Mentioned Henley in the past 5 years. Rasica on the mound right now as a senior, so has been here for the majority of this. 153 wins over the past 5 years. That's including this past season. 153 wins and 25 losses. And a regular fixture in the playoffs for the Hornets. Again, mentioned 9 out of their 11 times they've been to the finals, they've won. As Rasica falls behind, 2 balls and a strike now to Thompson. On deck waiting is Peyton Westerholm. Rasica finds his pitch, fires. That pitch hit hard, but is going to be fouled. Count even at 2-2. Rasica trying to find a put-away pitch. Could work with something here. It's going to be a changeup. That one chopped over. Reynolds is going to pick up with it and fire. The throw is late. Heath Rasica can't corral it at first, and that'll be the first base runner of the afternoon. Thompson gets on base. That brings up Peyton Westerholm, the shortstop, hitting third, getting a early chance with a runner on. And Rasica, the kind of guy you want to rattle early, maybe try to get him to work in these first couple innings. But once he gets settled in, man, Rasica is as deadly as any pitcher in the state of Oregon. So Thompson aboard with the base hit. First pitch to Westerholm is low for a ball. Wind starting to die down a little bit as that pitch is also missing for a ball. Two balls, no strikes. The count to Westerholm. See what Rasica decides to work with here. That pitch a fastball. That one does find the zone. Wind blowing out, of course, to left field. 331 down the line. It's a move towards center, about 383 as that pitch is fouled off, and down the right field line. 325. Apologies there. Count even at 2. Runner on first with 1 out. Bit of a delay there, but keep it rolling. Nice sunny 56 degrees. The wind is blowing, though, as the runner is going. That pitch dribbled out to the pitcher, Rasica, to his brother for the second out in the inning. Moving up to second is Thompson.
Batting fourth, catcher, number 5, Alex Tubner.
Tubner up, the cleanup hitter with the runner in scoring position, though there is 2 outs, but this is where you want your cleanup hitter to get up to the plate here. First pitch to Tubner is lined. It's going to be fouled down the left field line, excuse me, the right field line. So Westerholm was the second out in the inning. That brings up Alex Tubner, of course, at the plate right now. On deck, should he get the chance, is Chase Janik. Runner in scoring position at second is Thompson. Rasica checking his runner. That pitch in the zone. Strike 1. Rasica definitely checking his runner Thompson at second. Next pitch is going to be low. Ball and 2 strikes. Down 2 strikes is not the place you want to be against Raska. He is deadly with 2-strike situations against Hidden Valley last Saturday, or a couple Saturdays ago. That pitch, a breaking ball, ooh, just misses inside. But back to my point is that Raska, you know, he throws good pitches. He paints the black very, very well. And you get down 2 strikes to him, it's very, very difficult to come back against him. He struck out 7 in his last start against Hidden Valley. And he's going to add 1 more to that total here. 2 strikeouts in the first inning for Rassica. The Seagulls do leave 1 runner in scoring position, but we go scoreless into the bottom of the first inning with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com.
During World War I, a governing body for Oregon high school athletics was born. In 1918, school administrators formed the 36-member Oregon High School Athletic Association. That winter, the first state champion was crowned, Lincoln, in boys basketball. Track and field came next in 1927. In the 1940s, under a new name, the Oregon School Activities Association saw great expansion with football, baseball, and wrestling. The first girls' state championship was tennis in 1947. Several more debuted in the 1970s. The 80s brought cheerleading, speech, dance, and music under the OSAA umbrella. Today, more than 100,000 students from 292 schools compete for 117 state championships. We celebrate the OSAA centennial and continue to champion the importance of school-based athletics, activities, academics, and sportsmanship.
Welcome back to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball Championships live with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com. The first round again between the Henley Hornets and the Seaside Seagulls. In the bottom of the first inning we go as Andrew Reynolds, Hayden Rassica, and Blake Loney do up this inning for the Hornets. Starting to sprinkle a little bit as we're still around 55 degrees here at Rosser Field on the campus of Henley High School. And on the mound for the Seagulls is Travis Fenton. He finishes up his warm-up pitches here. So Hayden Raska getting out of that top of the first inning. He did leave 1 runner in scoring position, Duncan Thompson, but was able to strike out 2 to bookend the inning. Struck out McFadden and then Tubner again to bookend the inning with a base hit and a ground out wedged in between them.
Here we go, Dugout, here we go, let's go, here we go. Guys, get up, let's go. Let's go, hands are up, baby. Dugout, let's go, let's go. Get him up in there, let's go, here we go.
Leading off for the Hornets, shortstop, number 11, Andrew Reynolds.
Andrew Reynolds stepping into the box for the Hornets as he leads his team off to try to strike first in this first round, the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball Championships. First pitch to Reynolds, looked out for ball 1. Reynolds playing shortstop this afternoon for the Hornets, can play center field as well. That pitch grounded out. Picking that one up and firing to first is a nice stretch by first by Meyer. Thompson firing. And the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up Hayden Rassica.
Batting second, pitcher, number 12, Hayden Rassica.
First pitch from Rassica fired will be fouled. Next pitch into Rassica, a breaking ball is going to bounce in the dirt for ball 1. Count even at 1. That pitch will be fouled back into the dirt for strike 2. So we're going to have Hayden Rassica, Blake Loney, then Heath Rassica, the next 3 up due for the Hornets. A lineup that can really get things going. They can get on a roll and they won't stop hitting. Of course, with guys like Jagger Graham towards the bottom of the order, Takini in the middle. That's why this team is always one of the favorites to make a deep run into the playoffs. The pitch from Fenton in the dirt. Going to bounce to the catcher, Tubner. Count even at 2. Count even at 2, 1 out. Rassica at the plate, still scoreless. Only in the bottom of the first inning. The pitch from Fenton. That one is going to be outside of the zone as well. Count goes full. Now at the plate when you're Rassica, he's got to defend the zone and hope the ball doesn't get fouled back toward us. That pitch will be fouled off. Rassica does a good job of protecting the zone, has a great eye at the plate. You've seen him lay off a couple of really good pitches close to the zone. And that pitch grounded towards the shortstop. Instead, it's going to be picked up and fired to first. A fantastic play ranging toward the shortstop position from Thompson. And that will be the second out in this inning.
Batting third, catcher number 6, Blake Loney.
Blake Loney stepping into the box now for the Hornets. Again, the middle of the order is what you want to look out for on this Hornet squad. First pitch to Loney is going to be low and away. Fenton so far this game had good control of his fastball. Has a little bit of trouble locating his breaking ball so far, as that fastball is going to miss outside as well. 2 balls and no strikes now to Loney. In this playoffs, though, you just got to have confidence in your stuff. You know, 1 game, 1 loss. And we'll see you next season, as you got to have confidence in yourself and in your teammates, and that's how you advance through these playoffs. The mentally tough teams are the ones that go far. 2 balls and 1 strike to Loney. The 2-1 pitch from Fenton as he winds up. And he fires in ball 3. The Hornets definitely extending these at-bats, trying to make them work. That's the second 3-ball count we've seen so far. The 3-1 pitch from Fenton. A breaking ball. That was out of the zone, but got Loney to bite just a little bit. It's again behind us in the 5th inning over there between the Henley Hornets and the Cascade team. Going at it in the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union Softball Championships, leading 10-2 there as that pitch rocketed into right field, and that's going to be a base hit for Loney, as he's just going to round first and stay there. As a 2-out base hit, trying to get these Hornets up and going in the first. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Heath Rassica.
Batting fourth, first baseman number 13, Heath Rassica.
Two-out base hit allows the cleanup hitter Rassica to get a chance. That's going to be a off-speed pitch out of the zone for ball 1. And just like that, the sun is back out. That one's going to go off the glove, and advancing to second is Loney. Loney advances on the pass ball. And, just so far, I wonder what we're going to see more of. Weather changes or lead changes throughout this game. Something to maybe keep track of. Fenton trying to check his runner. That pitch is going to be fired low. Keeping control of it is Tubner behind the plate. 3 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second for Heath Rasica. Rasica looking for one pitch in one spot right now, wherever it may be in his wheelhouse. As he fires at that one up in the zone, it's going to be fouled off and going to end up going out of play near the softball field. So now 3-1, still a good hitter's count for Rasica. Looking to drive the ball still. He can pick and choose what pitches he wants to see here. That one's going to be up and out of the zone, so he doesn't even have to think about it. As Rasica comes aboard with a walk, and that'll bring up John Tacchini, the left fielder.
Batting fifth, left fielder, number 15, John Tacchini.
Tacchini, the number 5 hitter in the lineup, getting his opportunity here, courtesy of the 2-out base hit from Loney. Now runners on first and second. Loney at second, Rasica at first after the walk. Fenton finds himself in a little bit of a 2-out jam here as the first pitch he throws misses. Still in the bottom of the first inning, Fenton finds himself in a little bit of trouble as that pitch is going to be fouled off. Tacchini right on it, just right under it. Fantastic timing though on the swing. If you can get a hold of one. Get a hold of one, a pull hitter, of course, with the wind starting to die down, but still blowing out to that 331 sign in left field. Coming set with the 1-1 pitch. Just swung on and missed. Tacchini getting a good look at these pitches, though. Two-strike count now for Tacchini. That's going to be a breaking ball out of the zone. Maybe wasting a pitch there from Fenton. Trying to elevate a fastball, get the eyes up, but Tacchini, a disciplined hitter at the plate. He's trying to wait for the 2-2 pitch. Comes in and hits him, as a matter of fact. So now, quick 2 outs in this inning, and now bases are loaded.
Batting sixth, designated hitter, number 22, James Haskamp.
And with that, that's going to bring a meeting to the mound. And there was 2 quick outs in this inning. Loney singled with 2 outs. Rasica walked. Tacchini aboard with the hit by pitch. And that will load up the bases. Obviously with 2 outs, 1 pitch can get him out of this inning. So still not too much to worry about if you're the Seaside Seagulls. But, if you can get out of this inning with no runs scored, then it doesn't matter how many runners you leave on base if you're Seaside. Heskemp steps into the box, designated hitting this afternoon. The first pitch to him is taken for strike 1. Jagger Graham on deck for the Hornets. Fenton having a little bit of trouble finding the pitch he wants to throw. He finally does, and he's going to fire in a fastball that comes in, and that's going to catch Haskamp on the wrist. First runner comes across, and that gives the Hornets a 1-0 lead.
Batting seventh, left fielder, number 10, Jagger Graham.
So base is still loaded. The runner at third is Heath Rassica, Takini at second, and Heskamp on first. Jagger Graham at the plate. Took the first pitch for a ball. The 1-0. That one's hit in the air out to right field. Ranging over and making the catch with ease for the third out of the inning. The Hornets leave the bases loaded, but one run does come across to give them an early 1-0 lead. You're watching the OSA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championship with Play Action Sports Media and MyBasin.com.
On Point Community Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the OSA State Championships. On Point is Oregon's largest locally headquartered credit union, serving more than 360,000 members. Visit onpointcu.com. On Point is federally insured by the NCUA Equal Housing Opportunity. Need extra spending money and want to give back to student athletes? Become an athletic official. There's a big shortage of officials in Oregon, and we need you now more than ever. Visit www.newofficials.org. Get your state championship merchandise from www.osaastore.com. Commemorative t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and much more at www.osaastore.com. High school students deserve to participate in sports and activities, but not all can afford it. The goal of the OSA Foundation Student Assistance Program is access for all lifelong lessons learned by members of a team. Visit www.osaafoundation.org and discover how you can help. On Point Community Credit Union.
Welcome back to the OSA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championships live with Play Action Media on MyBasin.com. Due up in this inning is Chase Janik, Travis Fenton, and Dylan Meyer for the Seaside Seagulls as they try to answer back. The Hornets pushed one across with 2 outs in that last inning. Still on the mound is Rassica as he fires in ball 1 to Janik. Janik in right field, Fenton on the mound, and Meyer the first baseman. The 3 due up for the Seagulls as that pitch way late was Janik for strike 1. That pitch will be low for ball 2. 2-1. Rassica, we'll see what he decides to do here. Definitely has about 4 pitches he can throw. He's got a good fastball, good changeup. And his curveball are his top 3, and he could probably find something else out of his back pocket if he needs to. As he finds what he wants to throw, the 2-1 is going to be chopped. Will it stay fair? It will. Rassica going to take it himself. Toss on to Heath for the first out in the inning.
Batting 6, pitcher, number 28, Travis Fenton.
Travis Fenton coming to the box now for the Seagulls. Fenton hit 2 in the bottom half. He is the pitcher for the Seagulls. And definitely trying to atone for his sins, if you will, at the box here. Try to get on base. Try to start a rally for Seaside. That pitch swung on a miss, a nice breaking ball. Way out in front was Fenton. Again, an 0-2 count. Rassica, when you're down 0-2 behind him, he has just about, like I said, 3 or 4 different ways he can set you down, and that was a slider, just barely missing. So now 1-2 with 1 out on deck, as I said, Dylan Meyer. We'll see if he's going to be able to come on base with a base runner or not, as that pitch caught him looking, froze him with the fastball as Fenton goes down on strikes. The second out in the inning. 3 strikeouts so far for Rassica in this game, and that brings up Dylan Meyer.
Batting 7, first baseman, number 34, Dylan Meyer.
Trying to look at Rassica through Meyer's eyes here. We'll see what he could do with this first pitch, as that one's going to be taken outside of the zone for ball 1. Something interesting about Rassica you might notice just watching him, even for a couple innings, He doesn't pitch from the windup, always from the stretches, Rasica, but maybe some with comfortable, maybe a bit of a leg kick difference. As he'll do that sometimes. He'll shake his leg before a pitch, or he'll change up his motion in some which way as he falls behind. 2 balls, no strikes to Meyer. But both Rasica brothers on the mound, definitely a joy to watch either one of them pitch, really. Absolutely dominant. And on that bump is the 2-0 is sliced foul. Bit of a rocket.
Try to keep this coverage.
That pitch going to be strike 2, as trying to check his swing was Meyer, but unable to do so. As the count goes even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rasica going to try to put him away here. 2-2, delivered a breaking ball, swung on and missed. And down on strikes goes Meyer, and that will be us going to the bottom half of the second inning on the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball Championships with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com.
You know, some of the things I would tell kids is just enjoy the process. You know, don't think too far ahead. Nowadays, I think kids really think about results. You know, what place did I get? How far did it go? How good do you think I can be? Instead of just each day get a little bit better. And I think great athletes, and they'll tell you, is just they fell in love with the process. They fell in love with the training every day. They fell in love with just grinding it out, whether it's mileage or whether it's time in the weight room. It's people that enjoy the hard work are the ones that ultimately are successful on the Saturdays.
Welcome back to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball Championships here with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com. The first round between the Henley Hornets and the Seaside Seagulls. The Hornets up 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. Due up in this inning for the Hornets is going to be the 7-8-9 hitters, Jagger Graham, Skylar Howard, and Trevor Rote. Excuse me, Skylar Howard leads it off. Trevor Rote and Andrew Reynolds.
Batting eighth, center fielder number 1, Skylar Howard.
So Howard steps into the box. First pitch to him is high for ball 1. So Howard, Rote, and Reynolds, center fielder, second baseman, and shortstop, back to the top of the order here soon enough for the Hornets. And they got that 2-out rally started last time. This team, you can never count them out in any inning. As that pitch shot into center field is going to get down for a base hit. Rounding first, he's going to stay put. Howard starting off the inning the right way with a leadoff base hit. And that's going to bring up Trevor Rote, the second baseman.
Batting ninth, second baseman, number 4, Trevor Rote.
All right, new pitcher.
And change of scenery now for the Seaside Seagulls. So we're going to have a pitching change. So when we come back, we'll get the defensive changes for you. As again, Henley leads 1-0 in the first round of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championships, and you're watching it with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com. Welcome back to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championship first round here with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com. Got a new pitcher for the Seaside Seagulls. It's Westerholm. He's coming in from the shortstop position. And Fenton is going to move over to first base with this change. Fenton leaves the game after only pitching one inning. He is on the hook for the runner at first, which is Skylar Howard. And Trevor Road is going to be the first man he faces coming out of the bullpen. Westerholm, his first pitch is going to be grounded to the third base side, foul. Fenton's day ending probably a little bit sooner than Coach McFadden had hoped. Hoping to get some quality innings now from Westerholm. Right-handed pitcher. We'll see what kind of stuff he's got coming out of the bullpen and see what he can do against this Henley Hornets lineup. That pitch is going to be a ground ball past the glove of Thompson and into left field. Back-to-back base hits to start the inning. As Rote reaches first, and that'll bring up number 11, the leadoff hitter, Andrew Reynolds.
Now batting shortstop, Andrew Reynolds.
He shows bunt, pulls back, and Andrew Reynolds. He's 0 for 1 so far today. He grounded out to the third baseman his last time through Thompson. No outs. Runners at first and second. Road at first, Howard at second. 1-0 count now to Reynolds. Westerholm finding his pitch, winding and firing. That pitch was way out of the zone, still showing bunt. Twelve to 5, the score behind us at the softball complex between the Henley Hornets and the Cascade Cougars. Of course, that's the first round of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union softball championships as well. Hornets, the number 2 ranked team in the state in terms of softball and also in terms of baseball. Both teams ranked number 2 in the state. Both favorites to potentially make a run at the state championship. As Reynolds lays down a bunt. That one going to be down the first base line, and then the ball comes out on the tag. Westerholm not able to hold on to it. And that's going to be the bases loaded for the Hornets with no outs in the inning.
Now batting pitcher, Hayden Rasica.
So bases are loaded for the pitcher, Hayden Rasica, the senior. Has done it so many times, has made his runs in the playoffs so many times, and now a chance to extend upon this 1-0 lead that the Hornets have gotten themselves through this point in the ball game. The first pitch to him, he's right on it, fouls it straight back. As Howard on third, Road at second, and Andrew Reynolds on first. As Westerholm bobbled the ball on the tag and lost it, and E1 there. As that one is lined, it's going to get past the glove of the shortstop. Coming home is Howard, rounding third and heading for home as well as Rote. He's going to touch the plate, and that's going to be a 3-0 lead for the Henley Hornets. Two RBIs for Hayden Rasica. And that brings up Blake Loney.
Catcher, Blake Loney.
Loney 1 for 1 today. He singled back in the first and was left stranded at third. Early 3-0 lead for the Hornets as Westerholm fires a breaking ball. That one's fouled up. Heads up. Oh, little guy almost caught it back there. Got to make a play, little guy. 0-1 the count now to Loney. As that pitch is going to be hit in the air, fairly deep to center field, ranging over. And he's going to make the catch, tagging from second maybe. Reynolds decides he's just going to stay put instead at second. And that'll bring up Heath Rasica. First out in the inning. Rasica walked his first time up, no official at-bat yet.
The batter, first baseman, Heath Rasica.
So at first it's Hayden Rasica, Andrew Reynolds at second. And Heath Rasica at the plate. Reynolds running for third. And he's going to get in there sliding. And in the meantime, moving up to second is Hayden Rasica. So the double steal, and now 2 runners in scoring position for Heath Rasica. Oh, and 1 the count to him as that pitch. He got a hold of that one, but it's going to be slicing way deep down the left field line. The 0-2, that one's hit hard, ranging back to the left field fence, and a 3-run home run for Heath Rasica. And when he finally takes the last step and touches home plate, it's going to be a 6-0 lead for the Henley Hornets. And we mentioned the wind blowing out to the left field fence, but an absolute bomb going out there.
Now batting, left fielder number 14, John Zucchini.
So now 6-0, and that'll bring up John Zucchini. Zucchini was hit by a pitch his first time through. And that pitch will be outside for ball 1. Rasica hitting the home run there, extending this lead by 3, 6-0 now. Swung on and missed from Zucchini, a ball and a strike. On deck, James Heskamp. Zucchini fishing for that one. Got good eyes for the breaking ball, though. A ball and 2 strikes now. Foul tip back in the glove. Zucchini will go down on strikes for the second out in the inning. And that will bring up James Heskamp.
Designated hitter, James Heskamp.
So with 2 outs, Seagulls trying to get out of this inning and try to get back on the offensive side of the ball. And did that come in and hit him? I guess not. It sounded like it might have caught his jersey, but this be a high and inside ball 1. Heskamp was hit in his first at-bat back in the first inning, as that one is also missing outside.
Trevor, how much slower is he? A lot.
That pitch will also be outside. 3 balls and no strikes to Heskamp.
Okay.
And we might see him be taken all the way with this 3-0 count. We'll see if the Hornets want to keep the pressure on. But if he gets a hold of one in a pitch he likes, he might see a second home run in this inning, as that pitch is going to be on the outside part of the plate, but in for strike 1. 3 balls and a strike. On deck is Jagger Graham, should he get the chance with 2 outs in this inning. That pitch will be fouled off. Count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That pitch swung on and missed. Heskamp goes down on strikes. The third out in the inning for the Hornets. So they push across 5, courtesy of the 3-1 home run from Heath Rasica. The score is 6-0 on the OSA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championships with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com. Welcome back to the On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championship first round with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com. Due up in this inning for the Seaside Seagulls, Braden Johnson, Isis Yontis, and Gage McFadden.
The batter, Braden Johnson.
First pitch to Johnson showing bunt. Going to be past him, though, for strike 1. Rasica still on the mound. So far this game, he struck out 4 in 2 innings of work. Looking to continue his dominance, and now with a 6-run cushion. See what he can do. Is that pitch a breaking ball? Going to find the zone for a strike. Aiden Rasica has his brother Heath to thank for the 6-run lead, knocking home 3 on a blast to left field on a home run in the bottom half of the second inning. We're in the top of the third right now. Again, 6-0 the score. As Braden Johnson is in a 1-2 count against Rasica. Swung on and missed on the breaking ball, and that's 3 strikeouts in a row dating back to last inning. 5 in the game, and that brings up Isaiah Yontis.
Now batting, left fielder, Isaiah Hontes.
The first pitch to him is going to be taken outside for ball 1 from Rasica. That pitch going to find the zone as well. Strike 1. So Yontis, and on deck is Gage McFadden, the second baseman for Seaside. The 1-1 pitch. Way late on that one is Yontis. A ball and 2 strikes to him now. He's the number 9 hitter in the lineup. Again, we'll flip the lineup over with McFadden on deck. Winding up and firing, and gets him looking. Second out in the inning. 6 strikeouts on the day for Rasica, and that brings up Gage McFadden.
Now batting, second baseman, Gage McFadden.
Rasica with the first pitch to McFadden is going to be a fastball that runs out of the zone for ball 1. Rasica comes set with the 1-0. Double leg kick that time, and he's going to miss outside for ball 2. On deck, should he get the chance, is Duncan Thompson. He singled his first time through. McFadden struck out to lead off the game. He's 0 for 1. The 2-0 now to McFadden. That one's going to be fouled off. And that one's going to be definitely towards the softball complex. The score over there, 13-5 in favor of the Henley Hornets. Facing the Cascade Cougars in the softball first round of the championships as McFadden takes ball 3. We'll see what he finds with a 3-1 count for McFadden. That pitch is going to be lined down the right field line, but it will be foul. The count runs full now to McFadden, 3-2. Raska coming set with the 3-2 pitch. Kicks, fires a breaking ball. It looks like it might have jammed him. Making the catch at second base is Trevor Rote to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no runners left on for the Seaside Seagulls as the Henley Hornets lead 6-0 on the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championships, live with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com. All right, welcome back to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championships with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com. Leading off in this inning for the Henley Hornets is number 10, Jagger Graham. 0 for 1 today so far. Westerholm still on the bump for the Seagulls. The first pitch to Graham will be strike 1. Westerholm, he pitched the entire second inning. Gave up 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned. And he struck out 2. Down here again with a breaking ball. That was a hanger and lined into center field. Graham rounding first and heading for second. A very good throw from center field, and they're going to get him running to second. So Graham trying to extend a single into a double with a base hit, but he will be the first out in the inning, and that brings up Skylar Howard.
How about it? Center fielder, Skylar Howard.
First pitch to Howard is popped up on the first base side. Making the catch was Travis Fenton for the second out. And that will bring up Trevor Rote, the second baseman, 1 for 1 today.
How about it? Second baseman, Skylar Rote.
Rote, a line drive snagged by the third baseman Thompson, diving. The throw is bouncing. It's going to be too late. Rote trying to take second, and he will get in there. So a single and an error allows him to get to second. As Rote is on second, and that'll bring up Andrew Reynolds.
Batter, Andrew Reynolds.
Andrew Reynolds takes ball 1 with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Henley sparked a 2-out rally back in the first. We'll see if they can do the same here with 2 outs and the runner in scoring position as Trevor Rote. The pitch to Reynolds, he's right on it as that pitch goes foul. Reynolds 0 for 2. He reached on an error in his last time around and came in to score, courtesy of the Heath Rassica 3-run home run, as that pitch a ball up for a 2-1 count now to Reynolds. Three and 1 now to Andrew Reynolds. Hornets lead 6-0 over the Seaside Seagulls. We'll see the 3-1 count. That pitch is hit in the air to right field. And that is going to be the end of the inning. So the Hornets leave one stranded on 1 base hit in the inning from Trevor Rote.
In the third, no runs, 1 hit.
6-0 to score on the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball Championships with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com.
During World War I, a governing body for Oregon high school athletics was born. In 1918, school administrators formed the 36-member Oregon High School Athletic Association. That winter, the first state champion was crowned, Lincoln, in boys basketball. Track and field came next in 1927. In the 1940s, under a new name, the Oregon School Activities Association saw great expansion with football, baseball, and wrestling. The first girls' state championship was tennis in 1947. Several more debuted in the 1970s. The 80s brought cheerleading, speech, dance, and music under the OSAA umbrella. Today, more than 100,000 students from 292 schools compete for 117 state championships. We celebrate the OSAA centennial and continue to champion the importance of school-based athletics, activities, academics, and sportsmanship.
Welcome back to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championship first round. The Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com. The Henley Hornets have a 6-0 lead over the Seaside Seagulls. Due up for the Seaside Seagulls is Duncan Thompson, Peyton Westerholm, and Alex Tubner to try to get the rally started. They are down 6-0 in the top half of the 4th inning. That was Hayden Rassica finishing up his warm-up pitches for the Hornets. Raska has been flawless so far in this game as he gets started in the 4th with ball 1. Rassica trying to find his step, and he does. That pitch is grounded, dribbled right back to him. The underhanded toss to the first baseman Heath Rassica for the first out. 3 times this game he's had to make the play to start the inning.
Pitcher Peyton Westerholm.
And that'll bring up the pitcher, Peyton Westerholm. Came in from the shortstop position to relieve Travis Fenton in the 2nd inning as the first pitch to him way late on the fastball, strike 1. Warming up in the Seaside bullpen is number 1, Gage McFadden. Making the diving play, but deciding to hold on to it as a base hit for Peyton Westerholm.
Now batting catcher Alex Tubner.
That'll bring up Alex Tubner. Runner on first is Westerholm. The throw back is not in time. That pitch is going to be fouled off from Tubner. Tubner struck out his first time through. That was back in the first inning. 0 for 1 so far. As Westerholm was the first base hit of the game for the Seaside Seagulls. Another move over to first. Nothing doing. Starting to sprinkle just a little bit more now here at Rosser Field. That pitch, a breaking ball. He thought it was going to hit him, but it actually comes back in for a strike against Tubner. Rassica trying to find his 0-2 pitch, see what he works with. Again, about 3 or 4 different options for the senior, and he goes with a changeup. It's going to bounce in the dirt. To second, Westerholm's actually going to move up on the dropped third strike. But it will be a strikeout regardless.
Now batting, right fielder Chase Janik.
So Tubner strikes out for the second out in the inning. And that brings up Chase Janik. First pitch to Janik. Rain's starting to come down pretty good. Swung on and missed for strike 2 against Janik. Rassica trying to find a put-away pitch to try to end the inning. The 0-2 is a fastball. Decides not to pull the trigger, just on the outside part of the plate. That'll be ball 1. The 1-2 is in fact going to be ball 2. Still the runner out there in scoring position is Westerholm. And that's going to be a foul ball. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rassica so far has got 6 strikeouts in the game. Excuse me, 7 strikeouts. He's done a great job finding the zone with his breaking stuff so far all afternoon. Having trouble, though, trying to set home Janik. As the 2-2 again is going to freeze him on the outside part of the plate. That's going to be strikeout number 8 for Rassica so far this game. Still 6-0 the score on the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championships, live with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com.
You know, some of the things I would tell kids is just enjoy the process. You know, don't think too far ahead. Nowadays, I think kids really think about results. You know, what place did I get? How far did it go? How good do you think I can be? Instead of just each day get a little bit better. And I think great athletes, and they'll tell you, is just they fell in love with the process. They fell in love with the training every day. They fell in love with just grinding it out, whether it's mileage or whether it's time in the weight room. It's people that enjoy the hard work are the ones that ultimately are successful on the Saturdays.
Welcome back to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championships live with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com. The rain really starting to come down now, and you gotta, wonder how much longer they might let this one go on, as it's really not a matter of the weather, it's a matter of the field safety. Doesn't look like anything too bad right there on the field right now, but we'll see if things continue to get worse. Hayden Rasica, Blake Loney, and Heath Rasica due up in this inning for the Hornets. 1-0 now to Rasica. He's 1 for 2 so far in this game, and that's going to add one more to it as a line drive into center field. He rounds first, heading for second. Rounding second now, heading for third, trying to get in there for the triple, and he does. Rasica, a leadoff triple to begin the inning. That'll bring up Blake Loney.
Catcher, Blake Loney.
Loney takes ball one. Six runs on 7 hits, 1 error for the Hornets so far. For the Seagulls, no runs, 1 hit. They've committed 2 errors so far in this ball game. As the 0-1 now to Loney. He's in the dirt. That one a breaking ball. Loney takes advantage of the hanger, diving and making the play in center field. But in the meantime, Rasica tagging at third comes in. A 7-0 lead for the Henley Hornets on the RBI from Blake Loney.
Now batting, first baseman, Heath Rasica.
Heath Rasica, 1 for 1 so far today. The 3-run home run back in the second is where Heath has left his impact on the game so far. Seems like the rain has stopped, but the wind is still here, and now it's starting to get bright out again. And I wondered at the beginning if we'd see more lead changes or weather changes, and so far, weather changes has the lead with about 17 so far. Oh, 0-1 to Rasica as a breaking ball that's out of the zone. One and one from Westerholm. A breaking ball. Rasica takes advantage of it again. A deep fly ball is gone. A 2-run home run game now for Rasica. His second one of the afternoon gives the Hornets an 8-0 lead. And that one, unlike the other one, was not nearly as wind assisted as Westerholm left a hanger in the zone for Rassica, and he takes advantage of it for his second home run in the game.
Now batting.
8-0 the lead now for the Hornets, and that brings up John Tacchini. Still only one out in this inning. Tacchini so far 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the second. Before that, he was hit by a pitch. And that one low and in the dirt. So Westerholm came in the second, has been here ever since. That pitch from Tacchini, or for Tacchini as a matter of fact, fouled off. We're not having any young ones make plays in foul territory today, and it's disappointing to see. Ball and 2 strikes to Tacchini with 1 out. That pitch is going to be fouled off into the parking lot. Uh-oh. Oh, hitting the asphalt. We're good there. Still a ball and 2 strikes to Tacchini with 1 out in the inning. 8-0 the lead for the Hornets after Heath Rassica's second home run of the game. As that pitch popped up fouled and just over our head behind the Henley Hornets dugout. We'll see what Tacchini's looking for here. A 1-2 count. Got to defend the zone. He did strike out earlier today in a similar count, but we'll see what he's able to do now. The 1-2 from Westerholm. A fastball that's up and out of the zone. The 2-2 from Westerholm. That's a breaking ball, and it freezes Tacchini for the second out in the inning. Third strikeout of the game for Westerholm, and that brings up James Heskamp. Heskamp so far this game is 0 for 1. With 2 outs, the first pitch to Heskamp is outside for ball 1. Breaking ball to Heskamp, freezes him that time, and that's the pitch that Rassica's taken advantage of twice against Westerholm. The hanging breaking ball that starts out of the zone and breaks into the zone, and he has launched it over the left field fence twice as that fastball is fouled off. Look out. Oh! All right, Tubner. Off the fence and into the glove for him. Nice play there. One and 2 to Heskamp coming up with Westerholm. And it's a pitch low and out of the zone. Now on a fastball, swung on and missed, and that will end the inning, but not before the Hornets push 2 runs across, one of them courtesy of Heath Rassica's second home run of the game. 8-0 to score on the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championship live. First round with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com.
Is a proud sponsor of the OSAA State Championships. On Point is Oregon's largest locally headquartered credit union, serving more than 360,000 members. Visit onpointcu.com. On Point is federally insured by the NCUA Equal Housing Opportunity. Need extra spending money and want to give back to student athletes? Become an athletic official. There's a big shortage of officials in Oregon, and we need you now more than ever. Visit www.newofficials.org. Get your state championship merchandise from www.osaastore.com. Commemorative t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and much more at www.osaastore.com. High school students deserve to participate in sports and activities, but not all can afford it. The goal of the OSAA Foundation Student Assistance Program is access for all lifelong lessons learned by members of a team. Visit www.osaafoundation.org and discover how you can help. On Point Community Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the OSAA State Championships. On Point is Oregon.
All right, welcome back to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championships live with PlayActionSportsMedia.com on MyBasin.com. Leading off this inning for the Seagulls, Travis Fenton, now the first baseman.
Now batting, Travis Fenton.
Heath Rasica still on the mound. One count to Fenton. As again, due up in this inning is Fenton, Meyer, and Johnson. Ball and 2 strikes now to Fenton. He did strike out his first time through. That was back in the second. Now on a slider, swung on and missed into the glove, as a matter of fact, of Loney behind the plate. Up next is Dylan Meyer.
Pitch hitter. 12. Your attention, please. Pitch hitting. Number 12, Jacob Derby.
Jacob Derby, pinch hitting for Dylan Meyer. So Derby taking the spot of Meyer. And this is his first at-bat in the game against Hayden Rasica. That pitch blows by him for strike one. Rasica comes set with the 0-1 against Derby. That one hit back up toward the middle of the infield. It's going to get past the glove of Rote. No, it's not. He actually dives to stop it, but can't make the play on it. So it'll be a base hit, but still a fantastic defensive effort from Trevor Rote, and that'll bring up Braden Johnson.
How about center fielder Braden Johnson?
That's only the second base hit of the afternoon for the Seaside Seagulls. So the first pitch to Johnson is, he struck out his first time through. We'll see what he can do now with his second opportunity in this ball game. Rasica has struck out 8 so far in the game. And as the umpire calls time, we'd like to remind you to stay connected to your favorite school and team with the all-new OSAA Live mobile app. OSAA Live features schedules, results, rankings, and standings for all teams and leagues, plus statewide prep news. Search OSAA Live in the App Store and Google Play, or visit osaa.org/app to download today. And it looks like we're getting right back into the action now. So an 0-1 count to Braden Johnson. Again, he struck out his first time through. That one's going to be fouled right off our home plate umpire. Might have caught Loney as well. On deck, should he get the chance, is Isaiah Ontis. An 0-2 count now to Johnson. Rasica coming set, doesn't really check his runner. That pitch caught him on the inside part of the plate, kind of fisted that one down the third base line. Count remains 0-2. Still 0-2 to Johnson again. Henley Hornets up 8-0 as they look to move in and on to the state championship. Again, Henley a very good record in the state championship. 9-2 in their 11 appearances to the state finals. And as opposed to Seaside, haven't been since 1972. That was their last win as well. Haven't made the playoffs since 2010, so this is the first taste of the playoffs for this program in nearly a decade, 9 years. Quite some time for a playoff drought in high school. As the 0-2 is going to freeze Johnson for a strikeout. That's the 9th of the game for Rassica. And that'll bring up Isaiah Yantis.
Isaiah Yantis.
Yantis struck out his first time through as well. See what Rassica's coming with now with 2 outs in the inning. First pitch from him is outside. Strike one. Or outside part of the plate, I guess. It looks like it caught it. Strike one. That pitch chopped right back to Rassica. Take the easy route, toss to first, and that will end the inning. So no runs on 1 hit in the inning. They do leave Derby stranded. So still 8-0 the score for the Henley Hornets as we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning on the OSA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championships first round with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com. Welcome back to the OSA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Playoff Championships, the first round between the Henley Hornets and the Seaside Seagulls, with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com. Leading off this inning for the Henley Hornets, Jagger Graham, Skylar Howard, and Trevor Rote. New pitcher on the mound for the Seaside Seagulls. That's going to be number 1, Gage McFadden.
Your attention please, now pitching for Seaside, number 1, Gage McFadden.
So that'll close the book on Westerholm. He went 3 innings, and we'll get you the totals here pretty soon. Jagger Graham leading off against the new pitcher McFadden. First pitch is fouled off. For Westerholm this afternoon, he went 3 innings, gave up 7 hits, 7 runs, 6 of them earned. He struck out 3 in the ball game as Graham takes ball 1. Westerholm, the move to him was made in the 2nd. That pitch is fouled off toward the Seaside dugout.
Back on, babe.
The 1-2 now to Graham. That pitch grounded back up toward the shortstop. Coming up with it and firing is Westerholm. And that will be the first out of the inning. That brings up Skylar Howard.
Now batting, Skylar Howard.
Take a look at Skylar Howard right now. He's got 2 at-bats in this game. He's 1 for 2. He flew out back in the third, singled in the second. First pitch to Howard is in the dirt, misses, ball 1. Hicken fires low and in the dirt. And Howard 1 for 2. Henley so far 8 runs on 8 hits. They've only committed 1 error. So that pitch is low. They've only left 4 runners on base to this point in the ballgame, have the Henley Hornets. As that pitch comes inside, and Howard will go aboard with a walk with 1 out in the inning.
Now batting, Trevor Rowe.
Another thing to keep in mind here, if the Hornets push 2 runs across in this inning, that'll be ball game, as with the 10-run mercy rule coming into effect. But Hornets got to first focus on trying to push Howard across, as that pitch low and in the dirt for ball 1. And the Hornets 8 runs so far this ball game, 4 walks have been hitting the ball all over the place, and only 1 of those walks have actually come around to score. So they've just been slapping the baseball around and really doing a good job of working for themselves. As a 1-1 count now to Rote. Rote is 2 for 2. He's singled twice in the ballgame so far, is having a meeting at the mound now in a 1-1 count to Trevor Rote. I'd like to remind you to check out OSAA Today for news, polls, and stories on the latest in Oregon high school sports activities. Go to www.osaa.org to find out the OSAA Today section. Share stories, ideas, and even become a contributor. Visit OSAA Today today. Trevor Rote going to step back into the box with a 1-1 count on him. Throw back to first. Got other games going on around that you might care about. Number 4, Hidden Valley, a Skyline Conference foe, is at home against Valley Catholic later today. Junction City is also playing Phoenix, is stealing second and heading onto the dirt. Trevor Rote steals second. Of course, we got the Henley Hornets, of course, from the Skyline Conference. And if they were to win and hold on to the 8-0 lead, they'd be playing the winner of Baker versus Philomath, the number 7th and number 10th ranked teams. And of course, the Henley softball girls beating Cascade earlier today. That pitch is popped up shallow center field, coming on and making a basket catch. As that will be the second out in the inning. That will bring up Andrew Reynolds. But as I was saying, the Henley girls beating the Cascade Cougars earlier today. They will now play the winners of Philomath versus Marist, as that's a curveball. It's going to come right back into the zone for strike 1. The 0-1 also a curveball. That pitch is popped up, going to stay in the infield, calling everyone off, and making the play is Fenton for the third and final out of the inning. So no runs, no hits. They did leave 1 runner on. The score still 8-0 in favor of the Henley Hornets in the first round of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championships, live with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com. Welcome back to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championships live with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Rassica still on the mound for the Hornets. Only given up 2 hits to this point in the ballgame, as his first pitch to McFadden is looked at for ball 1. Rassica has struck out 9 so far in this game, has yet to give up a walk, and has only given up 2 hits. Just about as good as you can be here through 5 innings. That pitch is line. That one going to get down in front of the center fielder, Howard. So McFadden trying to lead off the inning and maybe get the Seagulls back into this one, at least try to chip away at this lead. Don't want to try to come back 8 in the last inning. Maybe try to put up 3 or 4 here and then do the rest in the 7th. And that brings up Duncan Thomas. That pitch, a breaking ball, jammed him a bit. Coming up with that one, laying the tag on him, and a double play. And just like that, a potential rally is snuffed out by Trevor Rote. And that brings up Peyton Westerholm after Trevor Rote lays the tag on McFadden. That brings up Peyton Westerholm, 1 for 2 today. That pitch will be fired in for a strike. Westerholm, of course, was pitching earlier in this game. Gave up 7 of the 8 runs that the Hornets have pushed across so far in this game. Came in the 2nd and left in the 5th as he's out in front of that one for strike 2. 0-2. The count to Westerholm. Grounded out and singled so far in this game. On deck is Alex Tubner, should he get the chance in this inning. That pitch will be low and in the dirt, bouncing. Loney doing a good job blocking that one from getting to the backstop. 1 ball and 2 strikes now from Rassica. And that pitch grounded. Trevor Rote going to pick that one up. Fires onto first for the 3rd and final out of the inning.
For the Seagulls in the 6th,
no runs, no hits, no runners left on for the Seagulls as they still trail 8-0 in favor of the Henley Hornets. We head to the bottom half of the 6th. You're watching the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championships with Play Action Sports Media live on mybasin.com. Welcome back to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championships live with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com. 8-0 the score here with the Henley Hornets leading the Seaside Seagulls. As now in the bottom of the 6th inning, due up is Hayden Rassica, Blake Loney, and Heath Rassica. As McFadden still on the mound for the Seagulls, Rassica Gets in front of that one, but it'll be a base hit into center field. Base hit to start this inning off for Rassica, and that'll bring up Blake Loney.
Catcher, Blake Loney.
Blake Loney, 1 for 3 so far, a single and a couple of flyouts for him. Rassica puts on his jacket over there at first, as he is still going to be on the mound out there for the Hornets. After the timeout there, Blake Loney is going to step back into the box. On deck, should he get the chance in this inning, as a matter of fact he will, is Heath Rassica. He's got 2 home runs in the game so far, and we'll talk more about him when he does come up to the box. 1-0 count to Loney. That pitch fouled off. A ball and a strike now for Loney. We'll see what Loney's looking for here, a 1-1 count. The runner goes. Rassica gets in there, slides in safely. A stolen base for Hayden Rassica. But now Loney in a 1-2 count. That pitch smashed into center field. And that's going to get over the head of Howard. Rounding third and heading for home is Rassica. And he will get in there, standing up, a 9-0 lead for the Henley Hornets. One more run will, in fact, end it. Heath Rassica is the man to do it. He wants to send it home right now, as the runner on second is Loney. Rassica's the guy to do it, to try to end this one right here. He's got 2 home runs in this game, 4 RBIs of the 9 runs that have come across. And that pitch is smashed. That might be a third, and no, it's off the top of the wall. But in fact, coming around to score is going to be Blake Loney. So Rassica will in fact be the one to end it here, I believe. That should be how it is. No. Whoops. So you can't 10-run rule in playoffs, as I've been misinformed by my PA announcer. Well, it's still 10 runs regardless, and that's the guy to do it. Hayden Rassica, a double. That pitch smashed into center field. That one's going to actually make it over the fence. Tacchini, a home run for him. That's 3 home runs in the game for these Henley Hornets, as he's going to circle the pillows, and that's going to give him a 11-0 lead. Matter of fact, it'll be a 12-0 lead for the Henley Hornets. Cade Fanning comes into his spot where he was being designated hit for by Haskem. He'll get a chance here. A 12-0 lead for the Hornets after a 2-run bomb by John Tacchini. And that pitch will be sliced foul. 3 home runs for the game for the Henley Hornets. 2 of them coming off the bat of Heath Rassica, and now 1 more from John Tacchini. as that one didn't look like it had the distance off the bat and just getting over that tall fence out there as that pitch is fouled off as well. 325 over where that ball was hit. No outs in this inning either for the Hornets. And Fanning is going to wear that one. He'll get on base now. And that brings up Jagger Graham. Looks like we may have a bit of a meeting on the mound here, as we'll have a pitching change as McFadden will be sent into what looks like center field. Regardless, we'll get the pitching changes and all the defensive changes for you when we continue on the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championship first round between the Henley Hornets and the Seaside Seagulls with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com.
During World War I, a governing body for Oregon high school athletics was born. In 1918, school administrators formed the 36-member Oregon High School Athletic Association. That winter, the first state champion was crowned, Lincoln, in boys basketball. Track and field came next in 1927. In the 1940s, under a new name, the Oregon School Activities Association saw great expansion with football, baseball, and wrestling. The first girls' state championship was tennis in 1947. Several more debuted in the 1970s. The 80s brought cheerleading, speech, dance, and music under the OSAA umbrella. Today, more than 100,000 students from 292 schools compete for 117 state championships. We celebrate the OSAA centennial and continue to champion the importance of school-based athletics, activities, academics, and sportsmanship.
And as the fighter jets fly over Rosser Field here on the campus of Henley High School, quite loud, and we have a new pitcher accompanying them, and that's Braden Johnson as Cage McFadden heads out to center field. Braden Johnson in to do the pitching now for the Seaside Seagulls. And Jagger Graham will be his first assignment. 1 for 3 today, a fly out, a single, and a ground out for Jagger Graham so far this game. No outs in the inning. Runner on first base is Kate Fanning. That pitch is popped up. Ranging back for it, and no one's able to grab it. Will they get the force at second? He does. So, bit of a confusing play, but it'll pretty much function as a fly out regardless. Graham gets aboard on an error. And Fanning is the first out in the inning. Skylar Howard now up for the Hornets. The wind begins to pick up now, and that pitch is going to be popped foul. Skylar Howard so far this game 1 for 2 with a walk. And on first is Jagger Graham. That pitch off speed outside for strike 1. Strike 2 as a matter of fact. 0-2 now for Howard. Slide step breaking ball, but Graham is going to advance to second. One and two the count to Skylar Howard, the left fielder for the Henley Hornets. Kicks and fires a breaking ball. That's going to get him looking. He knew it right away, too. Strikeout for the second out in the inning. Brings up number 4, Trevor Rote.
The batter, Trevor Rote.
That pitch, got a hold of that one, sends it into center field. Able to make the catch, though, and that will end the inning. 4 runs come across for the Henley Hornets. 2 of them, courtesy of the John Tacchini 2-run home run. To the top of the 7th, the Henley Hornets need 3 more outs to advance to the second round of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championships, live here with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com. Welcome back to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championship first round between the Henley Hornets and the Seaside Seagulls. Top of the 7th inning, the Hornets need 3 more outs to advance to the second round, and you're watching it all here with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com. The running throw, not going to be in time, so a leadoff base runner for Tubner. Only the 3rd hit of the afternoon for the Seagulls. Previous to that at bat, Tubner had struck out twice. And that'll bring up Chase Janik.
The batter, Chase Janik.
Janik 0 for 2 so far. That one fouled off, taken off the mask. The umpire. Tough job back there. They don't get enough credit. Not a lot of people, especially in high school, could be a high school umpire. Gotta respect it. 0-1 the count to Janik. 2 ground outs, as a matter of fact, for him. On deck is Travis Fenton. Raska still on the mound for the Hornets. That pitch, a breaking ball, finds the zone for strike 2, as a matter of fact. 0-2 count. This is where Raska's dangerous, looking for his 10th strikeout of the afternoon. Raska comes set, fires the 0-2, and that's his 10th strikeout of the game. That's Janik's first. Going down for the first out of the inning. 10 strikeouts for Hayden Raska. Brings up Travis Fenton. Look at Raska, 10 strikeouts, working just about every pitch in his repertoire today. Fantastic outing from him, and now 2 more outs, and the Hornets will advance to the second round. The OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Playoffs. As he gets ahead of Fenton, 0-1. That pitch, grounded, Rote going to pick it up, fire to first, so that'll just be the second out. Now 1 out. Up to bat now is Paxton Van Nortwick, a senior for the Seaside Seagulls. Van Nortwick, the last hope for the Seaside Seagulls of their season. And Van Nortwick, his first at-bat in this game. But a runner at second is Alex Tubner. He led off the inning with a single. And just a quick switch of baseballs, but so Raska looks into Van Nortwick, looking to shut the door on the Seaside Seagulls season and hopefully extend upon their own with a 12-0 lead. Extremely likely, as Van Nortwick is late on the fastball. 0-1 the count. As the sun starts to come out again over the outfield of Rosser Field. That pitch will come inside for ball one. Raska trying to come set and set home Van Nortwick. That pitch will be in the zone for strike two. And now one strike away are the Henley Hornets from advancing to the second round. The OSAA On Point Community Credit Union State Baseball Playoffs. We'll see what Raska decides to come up with here, as he's got one pitch to end the Seaside Seagulls season. It's going to be a fastball fouled off. Van Nortwick staying alive. The Seagulls dugout giving him credit for fighting that pitch off, as we've got one more fighter jet coming overhead at Rosser Field behind us. And Raska comes set with the 1-2. He fires a breaking ball, check swing. He checks it in time, and moving up to third is Tubner. Two balls and two strikes. Van Nortwick trying to keep the Seagulls season alive. Runner on third is Tubner. Raska fires. Ball three. Count runs full. The sun comes out, it gets warm. Shining over the Henley Hornets season. As stepping on first, and that will do it. The Henley Hornets advance to the second round of the 2019 OSAA On Point Community Credit Union State Playoffs. And when we continue, we'll wrap it all up for you again. The final score, 12-0. A fantastic showing for both Raska brothers and everyone on the Henley Hornets baseball team as they extend their season with a 12-0 win over the Seaside Seagulls. And we'll be right back with the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union State Playoffs live with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com.
Largest locally headquartered credit union, serving more than 360,000 members. Visit onpointcu.com. OnPoint is federally insured by the NCUA Equal Housing Opportunity. Need extra spending money and want to give back to student athletes? Become an athletic official. There's a big shortage of officials in Oregon, and we need you now more than ever. Visit www.newofficials.org. Get your state championship merchandise from www.osaastore.com. Commemorative t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and much more at www.osaastore.com. High school students deserve to participate in sports and activities, but not all can afford it. The goal of the OSAA Foundation Student Assistance Program is access for all lifelong lessons learned by members of a team. Visit www.osaafoundation.org and discover how you can help.
All right, in just a minute, we'll have the player of the game interview with starting pitcher Hayden Rasica live with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com in just 1 second. Stick with us, folks. Here with the player of the game of Play Action Sports Media, Hayden Rasica. Great game starting. Just kind of want to ask you how you're feeling about the game today.
It feels awesome. Hard work, week of practice, and got the job done.
All right, so starting from the beginning of the season, you're a senior, obviously, a new head coach coming in. How did you guys adjust to his style and him to you?
I mean, we just from the start we did what he told us to do. We knew he was a good coach coming in, and everything he said, we just paid off.
All right, and then last week against Hidden Valley, you guys had to win too. What was the message going into that week from you guys as well?
So we had a rough Wednesday game against them, and those next two practices, we really took it serious, and we knew that we were going to be ready for him Saturday and punch him right in the mouth, and that's exactly what we did.
All right, there you go. And then today's win against Seaside, what was kind of your scouting report going against them, and what did you expect to see from them, and how did you execute that, do you think?
We knew that they swung the bats pretty well, and we wanted to come in and just throw strikes from the beginning and make plays behind us, and we knew that we had to hit the ball as well, and that's exactly what we did.
All right, so you guys won today. You'll play against either Baker or Philomath next time out, and that's going to be on Friday. What are your guys' preparation between just a one-day practice here and between the next game?
We'll come out tomorrow, work hard for work hard tomorrow, get ready for Friday. We don't really care who we play, and Coach always tells us just to number the game that we have coming up, and we don't really care what team it is. We just want to come in and win.
I appreciate it. All right, and when we come back, we'll wrap it all up for you. You've been watching the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Championship with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com.
During World War I, a governing body for Oregon high school athletics was born. In 1918, school administrators formed the 36-member Oregon High School Athletic Association. That winter, the first state champion was crowned, Lincoln, in boys basketball. Track and field came next in 1927. In the 1940s, under a new name, the Oregon School Activities Association saw great expansion with football, baseball, and wrestling. The first girls' state championship was tennis in 1947. Several more debuted in the 1970s. The 80s brought cheerleading, speech, dance, and music under the OSAA umbrella. Today, more than 100,000 students from 292 schools compete for 117 state championships. We celebrate the OSAA centennial and continue to champion the importance of school-based athletics, activities, academics, and sportsmanship.
All right, welcome back to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A State Baseball Playoffs live with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com. 12-0 to final. The Seaside Seagulls are sent home unhappy with a loss as the Henley Hornets, they extend their season and will now play either Baker or Philomath on Friday. And of course, that game will also be on playactionsportsmedia.com and mybasin.com as well here. Seaside's season is over, as I mentioned. They finished 5-7 in league play, 11-12 overall this season. They finished behind Valley Catholic, Astoria, and Banks in the Coapa League. Meanwhile, the Henley Hornets, they finished atop the Skyline Conference, 13-2, 12-4 overall this season. They, in fact, led the 4A in runs scored this season, did the Henley Hornets, and they will, of course, face Baker or Philomath on Friday. Hayden Raska did the start and pitching this afternoon for the Henley Hornets. 7 innings pitched. He gave up only 3 hits. No runners came across to score. He struck out 10, no walks. Just about as good as you can be here in a playoff game. Fantastic job for Raska. On the other side, starting for them was Travis Fenton. He's hung with the loss. 1 inning pitched. He gave up 2 hits. Only 1 run came across. And then Westerholm came in and just could not get the job done. Gave up 8 runs over his 3 innings of work against the Henley Hornets. And the big hitters for them, of course, today, Heath Rassica, 5 RBIs on the day for him, 4 of them coming off of 2 different home runs, and then an RBI double back in the 6th. And John Tacchini, a 2-run home run back in the 6th inning, really just summing everything up for this Henley Hornets team, just better in just about every facet of their game, and showing why in a 12-0 victory over the Seaside Seagulls. When we return and continue, we'll wrap it all up for you and send you on your way with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com.
On Point Community Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the OSAA State Championships. On Point is Oregon's largest locally headquartered credit union, serving more than 360,000 members. Visit onpointcu.com. On Point is federally insured by the NCUA Equal Housing Opportunity. Need extra spending money and want to give back to student athletes? Become an athletic official. There's a big shortage of officials in Oregon, and we need you now more than ever. Visit www.newofficials.org. Get your state championship merchandise from www.osaastore.com. Commemorative t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and much more at www.osaastore.com. High school students deserve to participate in sports and activities, but not all can afford it. The goal of the OSAA Foundation Student Assistance Program is access for all lifelong lessons learned by members of a team. Visit www.osaafoundation.org and discover how you can help.
All right, welcome back to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball Championship first round with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com. The Henley Hornets taking this one 12-0, a dominating win. Again, we'll play either Baker or Philomath on Friday. Meanwhile, Henley softball defeating number 15, the Cascade Cougars. They will play either Philomath or Madras on Friday, and we'll have that game for you live with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com. Again, that's Friday, Henley versus either Philomath or Madras on Friday. And again, a 12-0 win for Henley here as they will face either Baker or Philomath their next time out, and that will also be Friday. And we'll try to have coverage of both games as best we can, tell you the scores from every which way or the other, and have the best coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union entire state playoffs as we can here with Play Action Sports Media on mybasin.com. Hope you enjoyed watching the first round of the OSAA Community Credit Union Baseball Championships. Join us on Friday, May 24th with Henley softball. Once again, the final score here was 12-0. The Henley Hornets advancing their season while the Seaside Seagulls go home unhappy. Special thanks to Henley Principal Jack Lee and Athletic Director Tom Loney and all of Klamath County School District. This is Josh Eldridge saying good night from Henley High School.